Hey guys, it's Wenji. Welcome back to the Reactive fam. So today we're gonna watch a story. It's called I Know Everyone's Dirty Secrets by Pretending I'm Blind. Okay, one of my favorite things when people ask me what they want my superpower to be, sometimes I say invisibility. You don't have to hide behind doors to like hear everyone's secrets. You just like stand there while people like sharing secrets. Seems like a lot of fun. But yeah, this girl did something similar and more possible than being invisible. So let's check it out.
As if the last year of school before college wasn't stressful enough, my dad got himself fired and we had to move to a new city so he could find a new job.
Yeah, it's never good when your dad gets fired. I remember when my dad didn't get fired. He left his company, but it wasn't a good time.
Wouldn't have been so bad, except Dad was a teacher at my school, so everyone knew what he'd done.
Oh. Isn't it hard having like your dad as a teacher in your school? It's kind of like, this is my space and you're in it.
It was one of the worst things to happen to us since Mom died when I was 12. But this time, it was all Dad's fault. You see, he was having an affair with the principal's wife.
Yeah, okay. That's not good. That's like your literal boss's wife.
I lasted about 3 days before I went to the principal and told him I was leaving. So Dad and I packed up and moved, leaving our old life behind.
Probably a good idea.
Dad couldn't find a job anywhere. Everyone recognized him from the video.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty bad for your reputation, and like no principal's gonna want to hire you in case you steal their wife.
And some newspapers had written about it too. It was a nightmare. I knew I'd have to start at a new school so I could sit my final exams. So I decided to try and disguise myself. I cut my long hair into a pixie cut and bleached it blonde. Then I got my nose pierced. As I was walking to school, I wasn't paying attention and I bumped into a young guy. Hey, watch it!
Look at her eyes, they went crazy.
And then I got an idea. I reached into my bag and put on my sunglasses. And then when I got closer to this school, I held onto the wall and walked alongside it slowly. I could see people looking at me, but I didn't care. But then a girl came up to me and introduced herself as Elsie.
What a weird thing to start.
I told her I was new around here and this was my first day. When she introduced me to her boyfriend at lunch, I had to stop myself from staring at him. He was such a babe. But then I realized I could stare all I wanted.
Do you think stealing other people's partners runs in the family?
And when Elsie had her back turned, I could see him checking me out, looking me up and down. And from the way his mouth was hanging open, it was clear he thought I looked good. How was I supposed to know what this book was about? I had no clue how to read it. And the next moment, the chair was falling on top of me. And then a girl fell onto the floor. I just lay there trying not to cry. How had I not seen her sitting there? This whole faking being blind thing was starting to mess with me. Then it got worse. She landed on her arm and broke it.
Oh no, she broke his arm. This is not a fun prank.
I ordered an ambulance for the blind girl and offered to call my parents to pick me up. And I panicked and said my dad was sick and my mom had passed away years ago. The teacher felt so bad for me and said I could rest in her office until the end of the day, and then she'd drive me home. I sat in the teacher's office and waited, and then eventually I decided to leave without her noticing. I left a note thanking her for looking after me. I wrote it with my left hand, of course, so it would look realistic.
Can you even write when you're blind? I don't think you know what letters look like.
Then my teacher was there to welcome me, and she said she had some exciting news. That seeing as I was 18 and blind, and my dad was sick, I could claim some benefits to help me out. I couldn't believe it! Jackpot! Maybe being blind wasn't so bad after all.
I wonder if you have to take like a blind test to qualify. You can't just like pretend you're blind, right?
After school, I decided to go check out the mall. I wore my sunglasses in case anyone from school saw me. Anyway, the mall was pretty lame, so I bought a milkshake and decided to leave. Suddenly, I saw Elsie and her boyfriend, and I panicked. I was playing on my phone, and I was like, that's it. And then I realized something. It wasn't Elsie he was kissing. I looked right at him, and he froze and opened his mouth to say something.
Oh, all this cheating everywhere in her life. What do you do?
I walked back around, hid behind the fountain, and quickly snapped a pic of them kissing. Elsie deserved better.
Oh, Oh!
I looked her up on Instagram and sent her a private message with the photo. She replied straight away saying, "Who is this? Why are you trying to ruin my relationship?" I could see her boyfriend looking at me in a horrible way, but I just kept my head down. My dad had invited his date over. I was chopping carrots when she arrived. I dropped the knife right out of my hand and stared in shock.
Oh no, I was like scared for her. Who is she? Is that her friend's mother?
Oh no, Allison, are you okay? Wow, what a coincidence. You shouldn't be using sharp knives. Come on, Kevin, surely you know better than that, she said. Hang on, you two know each other? My dad said. Why, yes, of course. I'm Allison's teacher. Why didn't you mention your daughter was blind? I had no idea you were her father. In fact, she told me her father was sick.
Oh no, it's all going south, guys. She's found out. You can't come back from this.
This was my absolute worst nightmare. Allison, my dad screamed, and that was how I got caught. I'd faked being blind because I just wanted people to like me and not associate me with my dad's mistakes. And now I'd gone and messed up everything, including my dad's new relationship. Susan, my teacher, was so upset with me and said I was a huge disappointment and that she didn't want to be with a man who'd raised a daughter like me. I guess I was just as bad as my dad, like father, like daughter. I wish I could say it all blew over after that and that I went back to school the following Monday and started afresh. Nope, life doesn't work like that. I was expelled, of course, and that Monday after school, there was a knock at the door. Elsie was standing there and I held my breath, assuming she was about to go crazy at me. But instead, she just handed me my phone. She said she'd been angry to find out I'd been lying about being blind, especially as her brother was blind, and it wasn't okay to joke about this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Her brother is blind and technically she's just making fun of it.
But then she said I'd saved her from dating a cheater, and she was so grateful. I was shocked. That was not how I expected her to react. My dad's affair at my old school is old news now, and so is my whole faking being blind thing. Here's to a more honest future.
Wow, some things that people do, guys, that is crazy. I don't think I would ever be at a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna fake being blind. But I guess she felt kind of desperate. It was a desperate situation, so maybe that is why. Don't advise it, as you can see. Weird and not fun consequences. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this true story animation. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode, so I'll see you guys then. Bye guys, love you. Mwah.